Hey guys, I'm Brianna, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a book unhaul video, which I've never done on my channel before. So these books I'm probably going to be donating to my library eventually when I collect, I guess, more books, or when I have a break and I have time to get over there. So these books consist of books I've never read and I don't have any interest to read, books that I DNF'd, so I didn't finish, or books that I read and I just didn't like them, so I don't want them anymore. I also want more room on my shelf, so I have books that I actually want to read. So first I'm going to start with No Good Deed by Goldie Madowski. I got this at BookCon and I just really had no interest in reading it. I believe it is signed. Yeah, she did sign it and she did personalize it, so I may keep it, I may not, but I just have no interest in reading this at all. It just didn't really seem like the type of book I wanted to read. And she also read Kill the Boy Band, which I read a little bit about it and I didn't really enjoy her writing, so that's kind of why I'm not going to be reading it. Then I'm getting rid of The Boy Next Door by Katie Van Ark. I've read this like 2 times and it just wasn't the best plot line for me. I felt like it was very basic. I mean, it was interesting the first time I read it, but rereading it the second time, it kind of just felt too, I guess, young for me, even though this is a YA book, but I don't know, it just wasn't the best book in my opinion. Then I'm getting rid of As Old as Time, A Twisted Tale by Liz Braswell, sorry. I just didn't really like this story and it kind of just altered the story of Beauty and the Beast for me too much, and it just wasn't that good. And on the top it says, what if Belle's mother cursed the beast? I read another book by her too. She has like a Twisted Tale book. It just wasn't that good plot wise, and a lot of these books don't have like what I'm looking for, so that's why I'm donating it. Then I read Top 10 by Katie Contugo. This book I did not like. As you guys know, in whatchamacallit, one of the videos I did, one of the wrap-ups, this book was in it. Yeah, I finished this whole thing. I wasn't a big fan of it at all. I think I gave it a 2. That was being generous. I didn't like this book. I didn't like Katie Contugo's writing, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Then I'm getting rid of The Promise of Amazing by Robin Constantine. I think I read like half of this and I DNF'd it. Yeah, it just wasn't interesting to me. It is a YA contemporary, but I just didn't really like the characters. I think Ren bothered me a lot, the female character, which normally never happens with the females, but she just really bothered me a lot. Then I have The Waking Land by Callie Bates. This was the book that I got from BookCon, and it was in one of my first videos that I've ever filmed. And I read it, and it just had so much potential, but the writing just was lacking a lot. So I ended up getting literally halfway through this book, and I just couldn't finish it anymore. And a lot of my videos, I was saying I was gonna come back to it, and I just kept looking at it on my shelf, and it just, I don't think I can finish this. Like, it just wasn't a good book for me, so yeah. Next, I'm getting rid of Everland by Wendy Spinelli. I don't really have any interest in reading this book at all. So yeah, I think it's supposed to be kind of Peter Pan-ish, but I don't know, I guess dystopian. But yeah, I don't really have any interest in reading this. Then I have Just Friends by Tiffany Pitcock. I've read halfway through it and I just couldn't stand the characters. The characters really annoyed me in this book. It was just a very basic plot line. The writing wasn't that good. And I think it is, yeah, it's a Swoon Reads book. So I was very surprised because Swoon Reads has a lot of good books that I've been liking recently. Especially there's a couple books coming out in May that I'm really looking forward to. But this just didn't do it for me. Then I read Why I Loathe Sterling Lane by Ingrid Paulson, and I vividly remember reading this book. So I sat in my backyard and I have like, I guess, deck chairs, I guess you could say, or like outside chairs. I don't know what you could call them. And I remember it was summer and I was reading this book. It was like, it had to have been 90 something degrees, and I was outside reading this book and getting a tan. Like, I remember vividly doing this. But I couldn't stand this book. Like, it was just so cheesy, and no, not for me. Then I have The Gatekeepers by Jen Lancaster. This book seems like it has a lot of potential. I just not really interested in reading it right now. It's pretty much about high school, I believe, and what it is like in high school now, and tragedies and everything happening, but I'm not really interested in reading this, but it is a pretty decently sized book. Then I have Ruined by Amy Tintera. I started reading this book and I couldn't like finish reading it. It was just the writing I didn't really like. The plot line was really good, but just the writing I didn't like. So yeah. Then I have Long May She Reign by Rianne Thompson. I love Rianne Thompson's. It's kind of like an Aurora Sleeping Beauty kind of retelling. I love that book. It's 2 books, I believe. It's a duology. She said possibly she's writing a 3rd book, but I loved it. So I was like, oh, Rianne Thomas, and it's another kind of fantasy kind of book. And I picked it up. I just didn't like it. The main character, I did enjoy her, but there was a lot of problems in this book for me. It was very, very, very slow paced, so that kind of bothered me. But yeah, altogether, I couldn't finish this book. I think I had like a quarter left of the book, and it kind of disappointed me that I couldn't finish it. Next, I have #Famous by Julie Gagnon. This, I think I gave a 3 out of 5. I did read the whole book, but just going back on it, it's kind of very juvenile, and I don't think I'm going to keep it, just because, I don't know, I don't think I'll ever reread these again. So yeah, I think that's a lot of the theme here. The books that I've read, I don't think I'm going to reread, so I'd rather give it to someone else who definitely knows they're going to read the book and enjoy it. Then I have Dune by Carrie Corp and Lori Langdon. In one of my wrap-ups, I did talk about this book. The beginning was so good, but the ending just wasn't good for me, so I don't think I'm going to continue on this in this series. Even though it is Scotland and magical and everything I want in a book, it just wasn't there for me. Next, I have The Revenge Playbook by Rachel Allen. I've read this book before in the past, and I traded on Twitter for this book, but I forgot that I read this book, so when I got it, I was kind of disappointed because I was like, oh, I read this already. But it was good the first time reading it, but it just wasn't like something that I would reread. Then I have Juniors by Callie Hart Hemmings. Oh, she wrote The Descendants also. I don't think I'm gonna read this because I've tried. I got like 3 chapters in and I just couldn't go with it. So I don't think I'm gonna try reading it again. I may. I'll see how I feel, but I don't think I will. Then I have Kissing Max Holded by Katie Upperman. I just didn't like this book at all. I think I gave it a 2. Just wasn't for me, and it is depressing because it was a Swoon Reads book, and I pretty much bought all these books, so kind of a waste of money, but I'm very depressed. I was looking forward to read this book, and just let me down. And the last book I have is One Perfect Summer by Rachel Hawthorne. This book I've had for a while, and I think I've read both of them. These are kind of like 2 summer romance books, but yeah, I don't think I'm going to keep this book either. So yeah, that's it for my unhaul. I have a decent amount of books here. So yeah, I'm hoping to get them to my library or give them to friends that read and hopefully see if they like them better. But yeah, that's it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know in the comments below if you guys have read any of these books, you want me to rethink what I'm doing or anything. So yeah, hope you guys have a good day. Bye!